cause I'ma come up. Yeah, I'ma be rich soon. Yeah.
Alright, so today is the 14th. We are 16 days away from hopefully initial launch. Or 6 days, I hope I said that. So pretty much in this video, we're just going to be going over levels of support and resistance. Let me remove all these studies here. Get the graph. Alright, so this is sprint. I just try using the same charts over and over. A, because I've been playing it, and B, because well, yeah, I've been playing it. This is the one that y'all always hear me talk about. We'll also look at Blackberry. But yeah, so levels of support and resistance. So levels of support and resistance are pretty much places where the stock has gotten to and seen some type of battle over, I guess you'd say. So, let's take a look. This is a 1-year chart. Let's just get it down. Yeah, whatever. 1 day is good enough. Alright, so let's map a couple of the support and resistance areas we can see. We'll start over here. First one we can see is at 5. So I'll draw a line right here. And why is this a resistance level? It's a resistance level because we see the price come up, and here's another previous resistance level at 450. So 450, we come up, hit once, come down, form a support at $4 right here. Form the $4 support, come up to 450, consolidate at 450 before seeing a breakthrough on the doji candlestick, followed by 3 straight green bullish candles. You come up, you hit 5. Come back down to the previous 450 resistance that's now going to act as a support level. So let's take that and let's extend that out. Then we come back, break through the $5 resistance till we come up to set a new one at about, what is this? 626 right here. We'll see it hit 626. I guess you could call $6 resistance. You have a small breakthrough followed by a straight pullback to consolidate in the $6 area before we eventually see a run up and we hit the $7 area, now becoming the new resistance. We see it get knocked down at $7 again before receding back to the $6 support area I was talking about earlier, where we saw the consolidation. And then we have a breakthrough of 7 here. It breaks through resistance, consolidates for 3 days for pushing up to a new resistance area of $9. So I hope we're starting to grasp the basic understanding of resistance at this point in time. You see it come up, hit $9, fall down. Make a run at $9 again, where it fails again before coming here and breaking through. And then, so the new resistance now for obviously the golden number that you want to hit on sprint now is up here at 965, which would indicate a new 52-week low. So if we can get to 965, that's bullish. Obviously, we're 17% away from that right now, so we're pretty far away from that. But yes, this is the basics of resistance. So like I said, resistance is where the stock comes up and has a problem breaking through. It's where the buyers start to beat or the sellers start to beat the buyers at this point in time. Fuck, there's a whole bunch of bugs flying around my room. But yeah, so basically resistance is points where the stocks had trouble breaking through because buyers lost confidence and sellers started to come in, so they didn't let it break through. And these are points that, like I said, the stock has had a known history of having a trouble getting through. But when they do get through them, it can be a very good sign And as you can see, we keep breaking through these and reaching higher highs up until we hit about the area of consolidation. I'd call it right here and here. You can even call it a small downtrend. But it's basically, the end of this uptrend we have that happens from here to here. Um, so, right now, this is on a really long chart. I consider this kind of to be a flagging pattern. It's a fairly long flag at this point. It's been 137 days in this flag, but if we were to pull it out and look at a 5-year chart, you can see the uptrend followed by the small pullback downtrend, which, if you have looked at the pattern video, this chart right here looks very similar to a flag. So yeah, so as we can see, we're sitting at 822 right now as compared to a high that this stock has gotten in the last 5 years. 30% right here, pretty much. It's got a 30% chance of growth before either it's going to break out or come back down. You know, so like I said, right now, I believe that this is I mean, it's a very long pattern play, and this is, a very long amount of time. Let's see how long this is. 488 days. So, this pattern's been in the process for 488 days. It's a very long pattern on a very long time scale. So, but the point of the matter is it's still there. It shows up in the 1 year, so that's good. All right, so that's resistance along with a little, what am I looking for, drawings? A little lesson on the side. Now let's talk about levels of support. Levels of support are basically the opposite of resistance. They're points where the stock is going to come down to, but like it said, support. It's going to support the price, and hopefully you're going to see a turnaround. So I'm going to go ahead and map some basic areas of support. We're just going to start on this side of the graph over just because this is kind of hard to map at the moment. The first one we see is at 450. Like I said, guys, remember round numbers are really good points to look for, pivot points, because that's where traders get excited. So, your 4s, your 450s, anything with, either straight dollar amount or the 50-cent mark, or even the 25-cent mark at the 25 and the 75-cent points. Those, round numbers are just great numbers to work with. They can make for really good entry and exits. They make for good scalps. We can just scalp a couple cents profit every day, and we'll continue to make money at a safe risk. So yeah, so let's get on with it. Next area of support, we can kind of see the strong consolidation at $6. It breaks through briefly, only getting down 10 cents below it, but you can see it get bought up quickly. And, we just see the price kind of sitting here for a minute, consolidating, making, small little ups and downs until we start to see, some price movement to the upside. We don't see 6 get hit again until over here. When the stock's here, like I said, here's 650. You can see the stock sitting on 650. I wouldn't really call it a level of support. I mean, it acts as support, but it's not major support. But in the end, it's still support. You can see it back here, also sitting at 650. All right, never mind. I didn't see this price action back here. Yeah, the chart here has definitely given itself a 650 support. Like I said, I wouldn't call it strong. I'd say you're stronger over here at 6. But then we see the breakthrough. We see an uptrend with no support forming until we get, I don't know, you can call it 811. And here's a perfect example. You can see at 811, kind of the first actual forming of a support level. I mean, you could call 723. Well, actually, yeah, here's another really good example. You see this candlestick, and it corresponds with the candlesticks all the way over here. This graph's actually doing a lot better job I thought it would be of telling the support and resistance levels, but you can see, how long is this? It has been 181 days since this candlestick was made. But look where, the price shot down, but look where it rebounded. It rebounded right here back on this candle. First resistance, I'd call it really the first resistance before you actually hit the $7 mark. As we can see, there's, kind of a weak support there, but it is still support. Only two candlesticks, kind of three, I guess. But this is what I'm saying by, you can use these levels, and also the history of the graph matters a lot. Stocks is a lot about history, so as you can see, we do have, the chart repeat itself and really, tell the story of what's happened in the past, and, you see it happen again and again. So like I said, just beginning on this uptrend, you get the uptrend, small consolidation at 7, first support that you get. And the reason 7, you can put 7 as support so easily is because 7 has been resistance twice in the past, as we can see right here and here. So when we actually broke it, consolidated for a day, had a day of kind of where are we going, and then followed by the uptrend. The two previous resistance points really help solidify a solid support for future. So we get the uptrend, and then we get the downtrend, and the first point at 731 is made, and obviously we see 731 get hit again twice in the future. So there's your first sign that support is real and that it does work. Until we come up here, you can put a small resistance. Oh, actually, no. Here's another great example. Even though it only sat here for 2 days, what's this at? 781 about. All right, yeah. Even though it sat there for, 3 days, maybe 4, I guess you could say. Look over here again, you see the stock plummet. It stops on this line pretty much and sits on this line for a good, 6, 7 days. So these small little stops, they mean something in the future, as we can see. We come up here, make a new resistance at $9 before falling down to 8.13, and price comes up, gets stopped at 9 resistance, comes down, forms a new support at 850 right here. Hits here once, goes back up to resistance at 9, comes back down to support at 850 before we blow through $9 resistance to head to 965. It goes up to 950. You can see how it moves in 50-cent markers, 50 cents here, dollar here, 50 cents. Here's 20 cents. Move back up. So, you can see how it keeps hitting these, 50 to dollar gains before making some type of change. And like I said, this is what we're going to be going after. We're going to be going after the movement from 650 to 7. Even though it's not very much, these are easy profits to capture. And, if we just keep playing it safe and hitting these, there's no reason we can't make money. Back to the graph though, just going to wrap this up really quick. Actually, I'll show you one more chart very quickly before we wrap it up, just so you can see one more example. So like I said, you hit the 813 mark, have all this, come down, hit that same mark again at 813. Come up, come back down, hit the same exact 813 mark, come up, get close to it, not quite, you get to about 3 cents within it. Right here, you get to about 2 cents within it. And you can just see how well this level holds up for so long until we have the run up to 9 and then the sell off on the earnings call, which, like I said, you never play earnings call. You can play the time up to an earnings call. As you can see here, there's a run up for anticipation of the call, but obviously expectations were not met, followed by a dip in price. So that's enough looking at Sprint. and we are just going to take over to Blackberry really quick to see what's going on there. Already got some lines drawn here. Let's remove those. All right, so again, let's just look and try seeing basic areas. First one I see for support is this line right here. Holds good for a while. Oops. The level at $7 holds 1, 2, 3, 4. It holds 4 times before it gets broken, and we see a downtrend before quickly returning back to the $7 area and consolidating here. Then we have the support form here on the gap up. It's kind of hard to map anything from here to here just because of all these gap ups you have. But let's just say, for example, if the price was to start coming down and we were to reach these areas, so coming down, you're going to see massive drops from the 861 area all the way to the $8 area, just because there's no immediate price action in this area. You could, come back here and call 845 either support or resistance, but still, when you come over here on this side of the graph, it's still in the middle of no man's land, and typically when there's a gap up and you start heading towards it on a downtrend, you're going to blow through it very quickly. Just like I said, because there's no area of support and resistance as of recent, and the last time we went through this area, there was no trading on it. It was all a pre-market or aftermarket gap up in price. So again, resistance, we got one here, kinda, that extends from here to here. Okay, why are my lines not drawing anymore? You can call another one. Let's see. This was kind of a messy chart a little bit. It's not as clean as the sprint one. But again, now we have consolidation right here before breaking through. You can call this a resistance line. You see it happen right here where you have a small 3-day, maybe even into over here where the price is kind of hanging around. But yeah, so recap of this video: support are levels below your price that you are looking for a bounce off, where you're looking for the sellers to decide selling's over and the buyers to decide it's time to buy up the price again. And you make these through either round numbers such as $9 or $8.50, or you make this off previous positions or previous places the stock has been at before. Like I said, let's go back and look at sprint. It's not always going to be a round number, like we said, this 813 number that held up so good for so long, it's not $8, it's 813. Prices, there still are going to be, key price targets between your round numbers, because sometimes they're not going to hit. Like, for example, you got the 865 right here. This is a very key target, even though it's not $9.50 nor is it $10. So yeah, you're gonna have support resistance everywhere. Obviously, initially you're gonna have your round numbers, but when you start to look further into the chart and start reading it, you're gonna see the numbers in between these numbers that are really gonna help you decide. Are you gonna make that run from $8 to $8.50, or are you gonna get stuck halfway? And as we can see right now, here is Sprint. I told y'all I bought this, and it looks like the call I've made is pretty good right now. We see the fall off followed by a big green bearish candlestick with a upper body, followed by a inverted spinning top where we have, even though it's a green candlestick, the body's on the bottom. So this is where I was starting to decide that the price is going to keep going up, so I sold. And as we can see today, stock is down 6 cents. I know that's not a lot, but still, the stock is heading in a downward. It's technically downtrending in the very short term. This thing does have the possibility to turn it around before it hits 8, I believe. It could consolidate somewhere around here before making its way up to 850, but a pullback to 8 and a bounce off 8 would probably be strongest and leave us for most profits available. We get into the shorter term really quick. That was the 1 day. If we look at the shorter term, this is 12-hour candlesticks. So this is the candlesticks we previously saw cut in half. As you can see, you have the tweezers. We went over that in the candlesticks video. We got tweezers here. Not quite the same shape, but we do have the confirmed bearish candlesticks indicating that we should sell out, followed by a low-bodied bearish candlestick. And then we'll just take one more look to see what it looks like in the 1-hour time frame. Oops, wrong thing. Here's 1-hour time frame. Maybe zoom in a little closer. So you can see with the 1-hour time frame, there's a lot more candlesticks, and the candlesticks are a lot more messy. It's a little harder to read these candlesticks just because you have these blob-looking ones that don't have whiskers. So those ones can be hard to read. When you start to get into smaller time frames, the candlesticks probably are going to be a lot harder to read just because there's less time for price action to happen, so there's less movement that's going to happen. But yeah, like I said, you can see we have the come down to 8 where it bounces, comes up, bounces again off 8, starts going up, and then we have this pretty bearish candlestick here leading into close, followed by a dip. And right now on the hour chart, we could see a pair of regular tweezers right here forming. So this could indicate the start of an uptrend, maybe. The break of 8:30 is what we're looking for. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all go. 20-minute video. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Hopefully y'all learned about support and resistance. As always, I am not an expert. Continue to learn on your own. Also, I teach by what I've learned and my technique, so it's good to learn other people's technique. Just for your protection, and also so you can bring knowledge to the table and really start to contribute to the group. So that's all I got today, boys. More videos coming soon, and also if everyone can get together, we are 6 days away from launch. So let's keep it together, let's get there, and let's start on time so that we can begin making money ASAP.